I am so honored today to have with us a special guest, Michael Allen of Let Life Live. Michael has a passion project and a ministry that we are excited to share with you today and help to spread the word and get the word out there for all the good that Michael is doing and attempting to do in our local community. So, Michael, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came up with this passion project called Let Life Live.
Well, thank you, Brooke, for having me on this morning. I'm looking forward to sharing with the audience. It actually started, Let Life Live actually started out of a pledge from another LLC that I have called Surrender Your Hate. But Let Life Live is a nonprofit organization, and it focuses mostly on reducing violence and specifically on gun violence in all of our communities. I'm concentrating right now in the area in which I live, which is the Orlando area, Pine Hill, Central Florida, throughout the area, working with at-risk youth to help them learn how to get along, basically, interact with each other, focusing on conflict resolution skills, de-escalation techniques, kind of help them through the challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis and make better decisions instead of resorting to violence, whether it be physical violence or bullying, name-calling, and unfortunately gun violence. So that's how I got started, and that's the basis of what Let Life Live is seeking to do in the community.
Well, that is such an amazing mission and vision and purpose. I think everyone can get behind the goal of reducing violence in general, particularly gun violence. I think everyone recognizes that that is a problem in our community and that we want to give alternatives to violence, and yet we don't always, there's not always resources available for people to understand how they can handle conflict in different ways. So thank you for the time and passion that you've dedicated to that wonderful mission. Now, how did you come up with this idea? What led you to even recognize there was a problem and want to put your heart and your time treasure behind this?
Yeah, great question, Brooke. It actually, again, started in May of 2020. That's where the other organization, Surrender Your Hate, began. And unfortunately, it was watching the news when George Floyd was killed, and I could no longer sit still, and thinking of how his daughter, how his children, how his family saw the loss of his life needlessly in the manner in which it did. And I couldn't sit on the sidelines anymore. So as a father myself, I started crying watching the television show or the news, and I heard a voice. To be honest with you, like God spoke to me and said, "Surrender your hate." And I asked him at the time, are you telling me to calm down because I'm angry and crying and don't like what's going on? And the answer was yes, but he asked me to move forward with taking that message and evolving the message into the Let Life Live, platform. So I did that. I started Surrender Your Hate back in May of 2020, June of 2020 actually, and it's been going for the last 3 years. It's comprised of really a website with conflict resolution suggestions and asking people to book me as a speaker, as a trainer. And again, the Let Life Live portion is the nonprofit, because I recognize here in Central Florida, the need was really at the grassroots level and not necessarily at the corporate level, but I can do both. So Surrender Your Hate spends more time in a business or a corporation, diversity, equity, inclusion, workplace violence, etc. And then Let Life Live is focused mostly on the youth and their parents, asking them to develop relationships, develop strategies, that helps them within their own household. Speak everything from, how do you deal with your anger? How do you deal with when someone's bullying you? Do you happen to have a weapon? A conversation that needs to be had. Parents may have a weapon in their home, and hopefully everyone is trained on how to manage that weapon. But if not, and if they do have children, we need to start talking about how do you manage a weapon safely and some of the perils and the challenges of it. So yes, I've been going now for about 3 years with Surrender Your Hate, and 1 year since I started Let Life Live.
I just love the name Surrender Your Hate. I think it is something that speaks to me and speaks to everyone. I mean,
Great.
even if we're not someone who is, identifies as someone who's at high risk to be a proponent of or a victim of gun violence, it's something I think that's a universal principle that we are to surrender our hate and to replace it with God's love.
Amen.
And so I love the name, I love the mission, I love the vision, I love that you are taking action. And